Daily download.
Trading testy words between national capitals, how not to write us an email, and why this little guy is about to become the next big thing. So say we. Welcome back. Always good to see you. A new download, fresh today, made just for you. Well, let's dive into it now, starting in northern Iraq with the crash of a U.S. military Black Hawk helicopter. File footage of a Black Hawk in action here. Military spokesman saying that all 14 U.S. soldiers aboard killed in the crash. Initial indications are that the helicopter downed by mechanical problems, not hostile fire, and investigation is underway. Also underway, in advance of General Petraeus' much-anticipated Iraq progress report next month, an increasingly tense exchange of words between Washington and Baghdad. Some in Congress, such as Senator Carl Levin here, now calling for Prime Minister Nouri al-Maliki to step aside. Mr. Maliki this week firing back, saying that Iraq can, quote, find friends elsewhere, unquote. On Tuesday, President Bush stepped into the fray.
And the fundamental question is, will the government respond to the demands of the people? And if the government doesn't respond to the demands of the people, they will replace the government. That's up to the Iraqis to make that decision, not American politicians.
Mr. Bush also saying that the surge in Iraq is producing results, comparing calls to reducing forces there to those heard during the Vietnam conflict. Now, as we say, this and likely a whole lot more coming in advance of that September progress report to be delivered to Congress. Now, all along the way, our correspondents will be deployed to cover all the angles, bringing it all to your desktop. All you need to do is remember one address, voanews.com. How easy is that?
Daily download.
The end of summer up north here, often leading to lots of end-of-summer festivals, and posing this stumper, how to lure the famously fickle media into covering your boring annual event. Well, for one answer, we now go to the sleepy town of Žitište, Serbia, but heck, not so sleepy that they can't have a party. The town wanting to liven up this year's annual chicken festival. How, you ask? Little statues of Rocky Balboa. Da-da-da-da. Okay. Žitište erecting a big Rocky statue to bring good luck and maybe Talia Shire to town, and hiring this guy to fill in for Sylvester Stallone. Close. The unveiling pretty much a success, drawing coverage from around the world, and lots of guys who like eating raw eggs. You had to see the movie. Well, time now for a couple quick letters from you here. We're starting today in Lagos, Nigeria. Michael Agbamuche writes us. I hope I got that right. Thanks so much. How are you guys? Hey, nice to see you. Daily downloads become kind of an early morning dosage. My day isn't complete without it. I'm an addict. However, he goes on to write that it's kind of a pain when it's not up on the website in time. Now, generally speaking, we update on our homepage, voanews.com, just about 18 hours universal time. A little bit later in the day, maybe about 20 hours UTC, you'll find an update as well on iTunes and on YouTube as well. Now, speaking of YouTube, we have an increasing number of subscribers, people wanting to share comments and share our videos there. That's great. For those interested, you can find on YouTube all of our current downloads in addition to all of our previous downloads too, so a whole banquet of riches for you there. All you have to do is go to youtube.com and search for VOA Daily Download. Finally, this note from Laxman Narayana, who writes to us from India, we think, actually writing us a whole bunch of messages, very complimentary and with lots of questions. Here's the problem. You don't give us an email address to respond to. The one that's on your email isn't valid. It keeps getting kicked back. So lesson to Laxman and to all of those, we definitely want to engage in conversation with you. Just make sure you give us a correct email address to write back to. Well, like us or love us, see, we give you a choice. We do want you to write to us. The address, real simple, dailydownload@voanews.com. Longtime downloaders know that we like to keep you ahead of the curve on goofy video. In fact, that's basically why we exist. So we're going to say goodbye now and leave you today with Bugsy. Now remember, he's the one in the goggles who recently took his friend Dave Yu on what we think was an adventure for the both of them.
sheriff's